Second. Alright, I forgot to actually set up secondary chat before I started. Also, this is going to be our first episode with VRoid, I tell you. I thought it would be, fitting because, so much is started with Jungle Paradise Golden Age and Jungle Paradise altogether. Why not add another thing into that? So, our debut VRoid, okay. Human. I do want to make a, what's called Blender model at one point for Oki. But all I need to do for that is, animate face. But I'm not sure on how to do that yet. Alright. But hopefully you're all doing alright and staying safe, and welcome back. Sorry, I was just looking at, thingy there. Sorry, I'm just looking at the face cam now. It's just so odd, I tell you. Just so odd. Like, you don't need a face cam for, certain stuff, but, we gotta do a face cam because I am poor. Whew. You grew your wool back. That is good news. Is that all the wool you're going to give me? No? Thank you. Spoke too soon. Oh, hello there, Beanie Boy. How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. It's been a little while since I last seen you. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've seen you. Hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. You also came in and I was debuting our VRoid model, I tell you. Also, where did I place? Oh, it's still in my inventory. I thought I'd lost it there. You know what? We should be able to head back home. But I do want to focus on... Oh, I was just glinting on my glasses there. I saw a bug there. But no, it was just a glint on my glasses from them being dirty. And it scared the life out of me. Okay. So, we got some work to do today, I tell you. We need to actually do the windows around here. I do actually have glass. And I thought about this last episode, so I might as well do it now, shall I say. Do it now so I don't have to do it later. But I do hope that you've been doing alright and staying safe, Beanie. It's been a little while since we last played, ever since your computer broke and then I got sick for like 2 weeks after. It seemed to be like, everything was against us from playing again, Alright, let us go and, place in the glass around here. There we go. I really need to sort out the pens here. That's what we'll see. Like, we were separated by fate. I know. It sometimes be like that, I tell you. It sometimes be like that. I am thinking, right? I am thinking. Alright, if I do that, I need 2 blocks open because, mobs do not want to walk through a certain area. Alright. Okay, that does not look too bad. But, let's see. Also, we do need to play some more Roblox again together. I've been, not playing Roblox for a little while. You know what I really want to do? I really want to find some good outfit stuff in Roblox. Oh, hello there, Ninja. How's it going? Like, everyone's just walking out of the woodwork today, I tell you, it seems. But hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. This is our debut of our VRoid OK Schumann. I'm using a webcam for it. And you know, by fate, do you know what the type of webcam I'm using is? It's a Trust webcam. The funniest thing is my mic is a Trust, mic. I might as well just be sponsored by them by this point. Since when? What do you mean? Like when we got the model? Well, we just got to the model today. I just finished, trying to set it up, before this. Oh, it was a painful job, I tell you, but I got it done, and I decided, you know what? We're not gonna have like a regular debut of it, We are going to go and we are going to go play some Minecraft. Because everything started, with some point of Jungle Paradise, I tell you. I might as well add another thing to the pile of, stuff that's been in Jungle Paradise. Like what has happened? We've had so many different variations of OK over the years. We've had OK Schumann's. What else? There's just so much that I'm missing so many details because I cannot remember. My brain is not the best at doing that. Alright. So let us go and since the VTuber stuff? What do you mean? I am now confused. I think I could reach, I think I could reach this middle bit. No, I did not reach the middle bit. You're confused, I'm confused. I'm confused, why you're confused, I don't know why, you're confused. Are you talking about, like, when did I become a VTuber? I've always been a VTuber. I basically started VTubing back in 2017 because I used a PNG for myself. I was going to use, I never really liked that PNG. I really felt distant from it. It was this boy with headset on. Oh, it was just terrible. Yeah. There we go. It's also maybe to do with it being 4:40 AM. Well, where I am, it is now 10. But I understand that because I just had to say goodnight to Onion, who is in America. And it's like, I think it's... They're one of the, 13, original states area. That's where they're from. Hopefully they're alright with me saying. There we go. And not too bad. Not too bad at all. We just need to do the other side now. That really is looking quite nice. That is really looking quite nice. Alright, let's get the rest of this glass made. I might as well just make a little bit extra. Alright. Never mind before I get both of us confused. Alright, alright. But I'm already confused. I'm already confused. So I guess it would not really make that much of a difference. But are you meaning like, you know what, I don't even know. I don't know, I tell you, I really don't know. It's 10:43 for me right now. It is 10:44 for me. I'm 1 minute ahead of you there. Yeah, I'm just joking. But it is quite early in the morning. I was going to do, streaming more later at night, just because of how hot it's been. But you know what, I decided, I might as well do a stream because I have this all set up. You know what, I think that is a tiny little fly. No, it's my own hair, sorry. My own hair, I think, has been at my headset. This time it isn't what's bad, it's the fact that I have not slept yet. You gotta sleep, you know. Like, sometimes I don't like to sleep. It's a weird thing, you know, with me. I hate sleeping, I enjoy sleeping. But I hate sleeping. Ooh, there we go. It's a very odd thing, I tell you. It's a very odd thing. Alrighty, right. Do I have some dark oak on me? No, I got spruce, but I don't think I have enough spruce for the entire works here. It played a scary noise. There we go. Not too bad at all. And also, I like when you look at the head, you can see when I'm looking around for items in my backpack. And also when I'm looking down the chat. I've been looking down the chat for a little while. I'm just mesmerized on how it looks, I tell you. That's what it is. Do I just... yeah, I'll just put a torch here. And then we just dig all this way. There we go. And how about we start replacing the floor with some spruce? It would really spruce up the place if you think about it. There we go. Also, let me know on how the audio sounds, I tell you, because I have a fan on in the background just because of how hot it is. And I do not know if it's too loud, but then the thing is I cannot stop it from moving around because a little tab bit to stop it, you know, moving, for some reason it's just not there, it broke. I could probably face it further away from me, but at the same time, you know, it's just cooling me down. Also, you can see when I'm looking over my left side. That really cracks me up. Alright, so let us go and do that. Yeah, I like how the water, you know, functions about, you know, having textures. For some reason it just reminds me of nostalgia of, like, you know, old games from back in the day. It just gives that nice nostalgia. Oop, did not mean to do that there. Can I silk touch it? Yes, I can silk touch it with the shovel. It's what, you know, Mojang, you know, intended. It's a feature. Definitely was not a bug that they decided, you know what, I'm gonna keep that in because sometimes I just, you know, need to, you know, like grass dirt. If I only have a pickaxe. Oops. Broke too far. There we go. Not too bad at all. I'm surprised that my thingy is not... oh, poop. Apologies. Let me just pick up all this down and... I was gonna say, I'm surprised that my fan has not been picked up as movement by me. It is very odd that. It is very odd that. should really move some sheep in here, shouldn't I? What colour sheep should we bring in first, I tell you? We're gonna have to decide that. Because we can either bring in the green sheep, but then... Oh, they've already regrown. I'm gonna have to go harvest them in a sec now. We're making it look like, you know, it's being dragged in. And now we just need to fix that spot, and I do actually have enough. I saw it actually ran out of spruce there for a sec. But nope. We are all good. Except for invisible blocks. I should really add a back door, shouldn't I? For some reason it's just satisfying just looking at the back, you know, area. Minecraft just has that calm and thing to it, I tell you. It can be a very hectic game, and then sometimes it can just be very calm. Just like when me and Beanie Boy were looking at the stars. That's not a star. That's a space station. Oh, I love doing that joke. But what do you call it? Looking up at the sky, I tell you. So nice, I tell you. It is so nice. Alright. So, let us go and... I've decided on our next step. We can start to make supports, I would say. It would kind of make sense. 1, 2, 3. Or we just do it with, you know, regular fences. Oop. I get stuck on the fence there. Also, I need to itch my ear. There we go. You know what? One day I should get the hand tracking thing as well. That would be funny. I feel like there would be the reasonable top bit. Yeah, that feels like it'd be reasonable. You feel like that'd be reasonable? Now the middle section is going to remain the same. Why did I just use all of, you know... There we go. We are... Break that. Place that. Go like that. 1, 2. And 1, 2. We are... Actually did make it onto that. Though that would hurt, you know, very badly, I tell you. That would definitely hurt very badly. Wait 1 second. There we go. Alright. Free and... I just went, you know, 1 block too high there. Alright. That should be a good base, and I think the rest should be... Do I do jungle or do I do oak? I don't have too much jungle on me. But the reason why I'm saying either oak or jungle is because we need to do a underbelly. So we'll probably... Oh, hello there, Max Fly! Well, Maxwell, not Max Fly, you know. I guess you might be flying away now. Oh, thank you for the hydrate as well. Oh no, my bottle is all the way across the room. I'm going to have to stretch. Okay. It should be picked back up by the webcam in a second there. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on, webcam, work. You can't die on me already. There we go, there we go. Probably got break because I drank there. You know, it works perfectly fine, and then, you know, sometimes, you know, it just decides to go a little bit under. But hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. Maxwell Flyweight. You know what, I was trying to pronounce your name there, and I feel bad for calling you Max Fly. It sounds so wrong, you know, Max Fly. You're either Max flying away or, you know, like a fly. I do apologize. But hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. What were you up to, you know? Were you playing anything interesting? Now we better get started. Ah, yes. Not too bad. Oh, not too bad. I seem to already have some of the supplies that we're going to be needing for this build project. Because we need to go and place a underbelly that would go... Oops, I did not mean to waste that one little slice there. Max Fly. Some people do just call me Fly, so it's not unusual. But my bad. And I were playing co-op turn-based RPG. It was fun. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. You know what? I really need to get into some, you know, co-op RPGs again. I think the last, you know, co-op RPG that I played... Oh, what was it? I think I was planning on playing Slime Heroes when that was coming out. I was gonna play Slime Heroes, but then it got delayed. And I still need to get in contact with, you know, Scav to see if they still want to play it. But yeah, you know, turn-based, you know... Sorry, I'm getting too distracted, I do apologize. But co-op turn-based RPGs are always fun, I tell you. Especially like card ones, you know, when you're playing against your friends. It can be some of the best times, and then sometimes it can be like, you know, you're ready to just rip off their head. Especially if it's card based and then they blew, you know, what's that card called again? What is that card called again? There's a card in an RPG turn based game and I can never remember its name. This is a swanky looking build. It is a barn that we're currently building. Well, I finished and oh wait, I need to harvest sheep. I need the wool. But we're currently trying to make a barn far away from home, as what do you call it? Our home is quite compact. We do have a lot of stuff around here. We're moving around certain builds and all that to kind of organize it a bit better. We're gonna be demolishing the animal farm soon, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna be demolishing that soon. I'm gonna bring it down somewhere over here. But I do want to have a sheep farm that can produce a lot of sheep wool and enough, what do you call it, beef, so we can feed our dinosaurs. Because we have a dinosaur in this, well, we have dinosaurs in this mod pack, and I wouldn't just add there. Did that on purpose, I bet you. Alright, we have dinosaurs in this mod pack, and they get hungry, I tell you, they get hungry. There we go. Put that. What one of these at? There we go. But we're currently building the barn so that we can, you know, harvest a lot of beef for our dinosaurs. I tell you, they always do it on purpose. While I'm walking away, they always, you know, eat. And then that part of my brain has to go all the way back over to, you know. There we go. I'm not shearing yous again. I'm sick of it, okay? I'm sick of it. I'm not shearing yous again. Well, I do have to shear yous, but you know, later. But hopefully once we get enough cows and sheep in here, we're currently going to harvest a lot of the, what do you call it, different colours of wool. I am very tempted to harvest that, you know, sheep there. You know what, I'm going to harvest that sheep there. I can't resist it, I tell you, I cannot resist it. I only got one out of that. That was just spite there, you know, that was just spiting on me. There we go. We actually have quite a lot of... My brain farted there. Green wool, and that's not too bad. But I do hope to, what you call it, get a lot of the sheep in here, all the different colours, and then also get the cows in here so that I can build up a big supply of beef, not for myself but for the dinosaurs, because I have too many dinosaurs back home. They're over here. We have a, well, I have a Brachiosaurus that I need to hatch. I've kept it in a chest waiting to be hatched for a little while. We have our 2 bird dinosaurs. We have a dodo up that way. We had a, what do you call it? We had a mammoth over here, but that one died. Let's see. What else we had? We have a Triceratops and we have a Stegosaurus. And then we have a Spinosaurus and T-Rex. I'm planning on moving the T-Rex up into Dino Land once we start, progressing further into Dinosaur Land. Hopefully, it'll go quite well. I do need to flatten out quite a lot of this area and then build a bridge over this water here. And then, make a path through all of this. I really do want to make a path that connects everything up. So my plan is to go all the way through these peninsulas over here. This very peninsula land. And connect up here with a ginormous bridge. So that I can connect up all of my cities all together. So hopefully that'll be alright, but we're on episode 1070 something, and it does not get any easier, I tell you. It does not get any easier. We may have powerful tools, but it does not stop me from, suffering through build projects just as long. Oh, hello there, J-Burb. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe, and I am doing alright. I am currently just working on our barn here. Let me move that into there. I don't need the glass, do I? I do not need the glass. Or that book. Alright, we're currently working on the barn here so that we can get some sheep put in here, and we can also put some cows. I need to figure out how the upstairs is actually going to work. Actually, I know how the upstairs is going to work. But let me show you what we're going to be doing. I guess I could do a full block if I wanted to. Let me know, should I do a full block or should I do a half slab to kind of give it that kind of look there? That is a hard choice right there. It would hide, lighting a little bit easier, because all I need to do is just place that there, and then if I had glowstone on me, I'd place it in that one block right there. Yeah, that would look quite nice. Well, let's actually do a little test, here, to see, how it will look. I could actually just expand upon this side here. Yeah, that does not look too bad. It doesn't really take up too much of the view of this area. Now, for the upstairs, I'm actually thinking about doing some stairs around this part right here. It would probably work better for us, I tell you. I don't need to... I think I could bring it out probably around here. So I could have some stairs, located around here. Question is, do I make them very thick stairs, or do I try and make them kind of thin? It's really a hit or miss there, I tell you. That's what I'll say. It's really a hit or miss. Alright. So. Okay, that's at the torch. And I forgot to do the torches over here. No wonder, mobs, could have spawned over there and blow me up. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's supposed to go there. There we go. Is that in the right spot? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, for some reason I thought that looked a little bit off. For some reason. And it was just so confusing there. It was just so confusing there. Also, I'm going to move my headset a little bit off my left ear. Just because it's a little bit aching now. Alright, so let us go and make ourselves some slabs. Oops. And make ourselves some stairs. Alright, so let us go and... You know what, I will actually turn off my fan now. So if you give me a second. I was actually turning it up there. I'll just put my headset back on the right way. There we go. So let us go place that there. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's actually going to turn out quite nice, I actually feel. Alright. The only problem is that floor right there is going to be quite a pain. I should really probably work on the stairs, shouldn't I? So let me go and, you know, make some improvised stairs, shall we say. And then I could just bring that all the way along if I did not accidentally misclick because I went up and down the stairs. I thought there was a little bit more to the stairs there. There was not. And I missed it again. I do not have hunger, so I could not jump. Alright, let me grab a little bit of rotten slash. Alright, so let us go and finally jump over now, luckily. Sorry about that, I had a scratch on my head there. Alright, so let us go and go like this. How? I did not mean for that to happen. I can break that now. Oh. They were counted as two different blocks. I did not know that. I would have, you know, easily broke it then, you know, when I was up there. But I thought I would have to, you know, go down for it to be picked up. But nope, I could have just easily... They always get me with that, I tell you. They always get me with that. Alright. Now, I have to decide on, do we do this? Let's see. Let us see. I'm gonna check the heat of my PC. Alright, I'll turn on the fan again. Sorry, it's that hot in the UK now that, you know, it's a pain in the butt, I tell you, it's a pain in the butt to, like, stream or record. So I keep having to have a fan on. Like, yeah, it's not too bad having a fan on, but at the same time it kind of messes with the audios, especially in clips on. Do not get me started on clips on, you know, Twitch. They're great, I tell you, they're great. But at the same time, they boost the audio. And, it can really be a pain, I tell you. It can really be a pain. Because, you know, you could have like a perfectly good clip, but then your audio just gets totally, you know, destroyed by boosting of the audio, and then you can hear like fans and all that. Like a normal audio is perfectly fine. That's why I do want to, what you call it, start streaming to YouTube as well as Twitch. I do feel like that should be, you know, a good idea to do. And I feel like that'd be like, you know, quite comfortable idea. Means I do not have to upload, you know, back and forth between the two. Plus it allows me to do thumbnails, and thumbnails would be a lot more easier in that case. Alright, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do there. There we go. But I tell you, when you're doing like, you know, thumbnails on Twitch, you have to make it less than what it takes on YouTube, and then your quality just goes down so bad as well. It really is, you know, super annoying that. Like, you know, the quality downgrade is not too bad, but at the same time, you know, it really annoys me. Really annoys me. There we go. But at least we can, you know, what do you call it, export in the first place. That's what I'm gonna say. At least we can, you know, export in the first place. Would have been so annoying, you know. Sorry, I got distracted there. Would have been so annoying just doing it the other way of downloading it. You know, that's what I did. It would take like over an hour just to download. Oh, it's terrible. There we go. Yeah, that's actually not that bad, actually. From what we have going on here, I do feel like a lot of this is actually turning out not that bad. I'll just do the 2 on that there. Let me see if I have... Oh, I do actually have some jungle wood. I saw that was out of jungle wood, but we actually still do have some jungle wood, so that's not too bad. Alright, let me turn it into planks, and then... Oh, I have an itchy nose there. There we go. And grab some of that. There we go. We should be able to finish it off after our next batch of stairs, I think. I don't really need the slabs too much for now, I don't think so. I'm gonna need some more oak planks. Well, not oak planks, oak stairs. So where does that stair hit the top? It is just, you know, right there, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's not too bad. I think I might go with these being the stairs. Though it will be quite a painful thing to, you know, lead stuff up it. I could just make a little gap in between and then, you know, full stairs there in the middle. That really could work, I feel like. That really could work. Alright, let us see. Do I have... I do have, you know, stone, obviously I have stone. Alright, let us go and... You know what, I realized, you know... Also, what time is it? We're at 30, you know, 8 minutes already. Sorry, I heard footsteps there and thought there was a mob behind me. You know what, throw that there. Put that in there. Bam. There we go. You really do not get much out of stairs, I tell you. Like stone stairs, you know. I really wish I had the stone cutter, you know, in the older updates. Because we're currently running on 1.12.2. And you know, it's going quite well, you know, running it on 1.12.2. I will say, 1.12.2 is a lot more stable than our previous, you know, Jungle Paradises being on older updates, being specifically 1.7.10. For some reason, there was just a weird, like, you know, glitch in the code back then, that modding really just got more stable in, you know, newer updates. Can't say, you know, too much about the newest updates. They're not too bad, you know, but I don't really have too much, you know, experience with that. Let's see. Yeah, we should just be able to build a slower out this way. Well, not really like a big slower. Eh, I'll put that there. Oh, I really need to sort out that sound. Oh, hello there, Jelly Shark. Hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. Oh, that gave me a little bit of a heart attack. I really need to adjust the audio of the notification noises because I always get like jump scared. Oh, woe to you. Alright, there we go. That's alright, but hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe, Jelly Shark. We're currently, what do you call it, you know what, my brain farted there and my words, were not forming. But we're currently working on the barn so far, and it's going alright so far. We just did this little slower bit here, and then I need to figure out, like, how is this going to work? Should I do... Oops, I accidentally did a little bit too far down below there. Actually, I feel like that would be comfortable like that. I just pop in because it's still early for me since I got work soon. It's understandable. It's, what time is it now? Well, for me it's 11:16, so it is quite still early. But then, in America it's like, 5 a.m. now? I think it's 5 a.m. now? Yeah, it should be 5 a.m. I'm so pumped up right now. I just beat Pantheon 1. Dang. You know what, I really... No, I'm British. No, I'm just saying, it's like very early in the world right now for like, Western countries. That's what I was meaning, not that you're in America. Like, I'm in Scotland, so, Oh yeah. Alright, we should really get, the grass set up on top, shouldn't we? Also, I need to break that down. I keep forgetting that I put the pickaxe in there. I need to swap them around. Alright. So it's not looking too bad, that. I'm going to have to make a run for it. Ooh. Always gives me, like, a little bit of adrenaline, that. But, that is pretty sick, Beanie Boy. I really need to play Hollow Knight at one point. I look at Hollow Knight, players, and I'm like, I could probably never do that. Like, it's such a cool game, like, I would like to play, but at the same time, I am very rusty. To the point that I don't think I would ever, shake off the rust of, the rust of gaming, Like, I used to play, so many games, but now I'm, rusty. Like, very rusty. Like, I used to be able to sharp shooting games, and I barely can even hit a target, if it's standing still. So, Hollow Knight seems so scary to me, because I only play silly gacha games in Minecraft. You know what? That's perfectly understandable, I feel you there. I could relate to that one. Like Minecraft, it's just such a calming game compared to, like, Dark Souls. Most gacha games, like, what gacha games can I talk about? You know what? I'm not sure on how, what it's called, but that, Horse Girl Derby one. I keep seeing that, going around. And then it just gives me, like, flashbacks to my friend Ambi. Because all they would, I think they played, quite a lot of it, actually. I watched some of the streams on it. You know what, I wish I had more Canadian friends, I tell you. They always seem like a weird bunch, to be honest. A good weird bunch, I will say. How far is that? One... I need to, do the pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it would be around there, right? But definitely I would like to give, you know, Hollow Knight a, you know, try, even though I'm not very good at it. I would definitely want to give it a try. Like, what even is the story of, you know, Hollow Knight? I could not get the words out there. I could not get the words out there. Also, I'm going to fix my posture. Ah, I tell you, my butt cheeks were getting numb there. That's what I get for, you know, sitting on a, you know, full chair. They're comfortable, but at the same time, you know, they really sing your butt cheeks. There was no way of me getting out of that bit there. Alright. We should be able to start doing, you know, the grass above. And then I can do the, you know, underground bit. Another time. That's what I'll say. There we go. Wait 1 second. Anyways, I'll be off to now, before work now. Ooh, I'll pop in when I see you live. Thank you for the, you know, cheers in the hat. I am looking forward to, alright, see you fine. I could not get words out there. I tell you, the last few days it's just been me trying to get words out and then they just do not want to come out. I tell you, when it comes to speaking, my tongue always seems to get tongue twisted when it comes to words. It really explains why in older episodes I always, you know, spoke so slowly. And that was me actually forming the words. But now, you know, I do not think too much before I say words. I'm gonna break that. So it is very odd, that area. It is very odd. Like, the faster my tongue goes, you know, the faster the mistakes will come. Alright, so let us go and continue to put in all of this. Have an itchy chin. Oh, there we go. Alright, so let us go and I tried P2. I'm just gonna call it a day on beating one of them because I'm not doing that. Not right now anyway, yeah. You know what, I perfectly understand that, you know, we're currently playing Dark Souls on the channel and I feel you, you know, where you're coming from there. Those boss be stressful. Yeah, that could be something that we could do. I forgot that I'm almost out of hunger, so I was about to jump there, but then I realized I should probably not jump. Or at least jump like this. It makes it a little bit safer, shall I say. And then I could also hang some lanterns down if I wanted to. There we go. This will cause like mobs to spawn, you know, sometimes. But it should be pretty lit up, hopefully. Hopefully. Pretty lit up. Alright. And what could we talk about while we're working on this? What's your opinion on American waffles? Because for some reason, I tell you, whenever I think about American waffles, I think about how sugary they are. Like, for some reason, American waffles are just so sugary. It's called American waffles in, you know, the UK, you know, because they come from America. But at the same time, you know, I had one in high school when I first started high school, I tell you. And, you know, that was like the worst mistake, you know. It was the only food that I got that day, I tell you. And I only took like a little tiny nibble out of it before I could not eat it because it was that sugary. Now there's a point where sugar is just, you know, becomes too much, I tell you. Becomes too much. Like, you know, these days I can't even have like too sugary of juice now. Because I just cannot handle that sugary juice now. There we go. Here's a very weird thing that. This is a very weird thing. I just can't handle, you know, sugary drinks as I used to. They're so good. I went to Florida in 2019 and they were so good, but I could not finish them. You know what? That is like a totally different experience, you know, from what I had with them. And I'm gonna say, you know, maybe the ones in America are probably better than the ones in the UK that have the name American waffles. Like potato waffles, oh, those are great. But American, you know, waffles that you get in like high school, oh, you know, I'd rather, you know, eat anything else than, you know, that, to be honest. Oh, that was so bad, you know. And it was a very sugary one because I actually saw the sugar on it. Remember, the only things I would ever eat in high school were a packet of baked Walker Crisps, a milk, this would be a tiny little carton of milk, and a muffin. And then eventually became just a muffin and thingy, because the muffins, well, it became muffins and, you know what, I'm getting very confused now. It became muffin and milk, and then it became milk and, you know, baked Walker Crisps. Would not recommend modern ones. The modern ones suck. Every time that they change the recipes, you know, I noticed it because I had it that much. You mean the little Muller cartons? They were originally Muller cartons, but for some reason all the schools started changing the brand, and it's so weird, that I tell you. It really is so weird. Like, I remember having the Miller ones, you know, but I don't even see any Miller ones now. Is Miller still in, you know, thingy? Because I never really see them that often. Like, I've seen, like, I think one or two recently. But it's just so weird that I do not see them as often. Like, I remember Greg's actually used to sell milk. And, that would be, like, you know, the thing that I would drink the most, you know, from Greg's. I would not recommend Greg's today. Greg's today really sucks. You can tell that, you know, a lot of these, you know, brands, when I talk about them, they've gone downhill. And that cracks me up. My school do them, but I don't know if they're still around. Yay! Like, I still see the cartons, like the little tiny cartons that we used to get in school. But I do not see the, you know, proper Mueller ones no more. It's like they just went out of business. And it's just so odd that, you know, you see it for that long and then, you know, it just disappears. It just disappears. Let's see. But I remember they used to be sold in Greg's, and, you know, it wasn't too bad, that. Still saying, not sponsored by Greg's, you know. Who wants to be sponsored by Greg's, I tell you. It's not very good. I do kind of feel bad for Greg's, you know. It used to be so good, and then it became so bad. Like, sometimes you can get away with a, you know, cheeky good one, and then, you know, it just becomes either, like, too spicy. Like, how did they make it spicy? How's a sausage roll that has the same ingredients in it spicy? It does not make sense at all, unless they're adding in, you know, additives or something, you know, to kind of change the taste or keep it the same. Like, I know they do that with milk because, you know, milk is something that needs to stay the same taste all year round. And that is, you know, something that actually happens. Because they actually take milk powder and they add it to milk. So when it's like seasons where milk is not really that popular, they add that to it to keep it have the same consistency throughout, you know, the, you know, non-milking seasons. And it's very, you know, weird and very interesting at the same time. This does look quite good, actually. I do need to actually get some, you know, more fences. Sorry, I was just fixing my posture there. You might hear me say that quite a lot because, for some reason, it is just so annoying now. It's just so annoying now. There we go. So, let us go and head on back up. But I will say, you know... what could we talk about? Like, I will say, you know, when it comes to, like, bakery stuff, like, you know, Greg's and all that, it's so sad seeing them all, like, decay. I will say decay because that's what's happening to a lot of them. Like, there used to be one in, what do you call it, a mining town called Whitburn that I used to go to, you know, quite a lot, you know, because it was decent, you know. You're traveling through Scotland, you know, you go grab a pie from, you know, Fisher's. But then they got taken over by another company and they're not very good. They are not very good. I will say that. Like, how can you mess up, you know, a pie recipe that much? And they mess it up quite much. But just seeing all these, like, you know, tiny little bakeries and all that, just, you know, either they overcharge or they have terrible food. And it's normally overcharging and terrible food, you know, a lot of the time. It just seems to be a running trend of that now. It really is sad seeing that because, you know, there's so many good bakeries out there, but they're too far in between, you know, finding them that, you know, by the time you find them, you go to them like a bunch of times and bam, they're shutting down, you know, not that long afterwards. It's really painful seeing it. Oh, hello there, Sophie Waste. You know what? I do apologize if I mispronounce your name. Is it Sophie? Or is it, you know what, I'll just call... Ooh! 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 I feel bad for killing the chicken. I could have farmed that chicken. Oh. Oh. Chicken jockey. Dang chicken jockey. Let me get rid of that. Oh, I got a head. Alright. Well, hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. Okay, Sophie. Okay. Alright. Or Sophie. Sophie? Sophie. You know what? I'm terrible with names. Do apologize. But hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. And also, what have you been up to? What did you play? Did you play anything interesting? We're currently working on this barn here, and it's not going too bad, actually. It's not going too bad at all. I do have, you know, crafting table. I can turn this into a mobile working station to get the last of these fancies done. But what were you up to? Did you play anything interesting? Let me just go like that. There we go. Resident Evil 7 and Zelda. You know what? I can never remember what Tears of the Kingdom, that's it. I can never remember that one, I tell you. I remember, like, you know, whenever I see it, I think like, okay, it's probably like, you know, Twilight Kingdom or something, and then, you know, it's not Twilight Kingdom. It always reminds me of Twilight Kingdom, and then that's the first thing that comes to my mind. But you know, that's actually pretty good, you know. I really need to play a Resident Evil game at one point. But I tell you, I would probably not make it like 5 feet without, you know, getting absolute brutalized, to be honest. Every time I do, you know, play like a horror game. Like we played that Siren Head one, when they literally just slowed down the movement of the game. Oh, it was so janky, I tell you, it was so janky. But they literally slowed down the movement of the game, and it was just unbelievable in words, I shall say. But you know what, we did not do too bad during it, I will say. They are kinda like that, to be honest. Let's see. I need to make an oak fence, and I just ran out of oak. There we go. Go like that. Okay, we got 2. How many are we actually needing? How many are we actually needing? 2, 2, 2, 2. Congrats on debut model, by the way. Thank you very much, you know. I decided, you know what, instead of doing like a normal, you know, how would you describe it? A normal debut, I thought I might as well just start it with my, you know, Minecraft Jungle Paradise Golden Age series. Because if I started with Jungle Paradise Golden Age, everything basically starts with Jungle Paradise Golden Age by that point. I don't know what it is, but you know, so many of like my milestones has happened during our Minecraft world. A lot of them in this Minecraft world, to be more specific. You know, we got fully movable PNG in this one, and now we have a 3D model one now. And that really cracks me up. Progress, I tell you, progress, that's what it is. So many goals in such a, you know, not too big world, I would say. Wait. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, I was undercounting. I thought I needed 6. That's why I thought I had an extra one there, but it turns out no, I did not have an extra one. I am so dumb, I tell you. I am so dumb. I needed 8. That's what I needed. I needed 8. But what are your other plans for today? Are you going to go and have a rest now? You better hydrate, I tell you, you better hydrate as well. Ow! What? Why can I never make a jump, I tell you? Why can I never make a jump? Also, this is actually really turning out quite nice. I really do like how this looks. I love meeting new people. Hey! Soonish. Hey, I do quite enjoy meeting a lot of new people. Like, I see so many, like, you know, VTubers and such on, like, the internet. And, especially on Blue Sky, you know, I follow too many VTubers on Blue Sky. I've got to say that, you know, I follow too many. Although I do follow you on Blue Sky. So I had to catch you. I do apologize, you know. I follow so many, you know, VTubers on Blue Sky. Maybe too many. Maybe too many. I just see like, you know, oh, you know, this person seems pretty interesting. They have like a cool concept and all that. Bam, you know, I follow them, and then bam, you know, I've already reposted at least 20 things that they've said. Because I agree with them all. That always cracks me up. Alright. Actually had my second PNG tube stream today. Oh! That's pretty sick. That is pretty sick. How was it? Did it go alright, you know? any hiccups along the way. As I say, you know, any scuffness along the way just adds more charm to it. I've only done face cam before. Ah, yeah. You know what? I'd done like PNG before this, you know, but then I also did a non-moving PNG before that, you know, so it's kind of understandable and, you know, a certain way, you know. It's kind of relatable. People start in their different, you know, directions. Alright, let's see. There's always scuff on my stream. You know what, I can relate to that, I tell you, I can relate to that. Oop. No, it would not be a good stream if there was no scuff, that's what I'm going to say. If there's no scuff, then it's not really a good stream. Ooh, I just realized I can't do that. Let me just... Yeah, that should do. Exactly, yeah. Like, whenever I see, like, someone complaining about, like, oh, you know, it was so scuff, you know, it was so scuff and terrible, I'm like, you know, it's, you know, scuff is still, you know, good. Like, some of the best moments in, you know, doing, like, VTubing and all that come from scuffness. Like, you accidentally crack a joke when you're not supposed to crack a joke, and then it becomes like a famous meme. It happens, you know. It happens. Also, that actually looks pretty sick, actually. Like, look at that. That is actually really nice. How do you think? Just popping in since it's been a wee while. Oh, hello there, Frosty Twilight. Hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe as well. Let's see. Sorry, I totally got distracted there. But hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. It's been a little while since I last seen you. Hopefully you've been hydrating as well since I last seen you. And staying safe. That's the most important thing. That's all I ask from you. That is all I ask from you. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. But what have you been up to recently? You've been up to anything interesting? Also, do apologise if I sound distracted. I am very distracted. I have, like, you know, focus is not my strong suit, shall I say. Safety? Nah. Jump straight right into the let's see. Is there any ravines nearby? You know what? You're not in luck here today. There is no ravines I can jump into now. Well, there is that ravine up there, but I'm not gonna travel all the way up past that area, you know, for it. You know what? Let's see. Let me eat some, you know, carrots and we'll go on a little bit of a journey. Very easy. Happy to have met you, thank you. We'll lurk for the night. Alright, no worries. You stay safe and remember to stay hydrated before you sleep. I tell you, I always forget that and I wake up like with a, you know, terrible throat. Terrible throat. Alright, let us head onwards over this way. You know what, I really do need to chop down those birch trees that, you know, I tore the leaves off of like ages ago. Yo, bunny, how's it going? Holy moly! Holy moly, there's a tiger after me! Well, it's not a tiger, it's a lion. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. We can't have a safe day like this, I tell you, about, you know, getting attacked by one of the wild animals. Alright. Let us head this direction. If we cannot jump into a ravine, then we can jump off the tower over here that we built. The Grand Cathedral build that has taken So much stone, I tell you, so much stone. I do want to detail it with some other types of stone, but for now it's just, you know, pure stone. Hello there, Sister Mary Allen. How's it going? You doing alright? You staying safe? Alright, let's see. Is there anything useful in here that I still need to grab? Do not think so. Need to fix my posture, I tell you. There we go. I need to figure out how to get back up there as well. It's been such a while since I last, you know, been up in this place that I keep forgetting how. I should really just get ladders, shouldn't I? Either way, at least jump into one useful copper. You know what? If I was in the newer update, it would be very useful. I could use, you know, some lightning rods. You know, I've lost so many pirates in my world to lightning strikes of recently. Also, we do need to actually construct a bell tower at one point. I think if we're constructing a bell tower, I'll start by coming in, and then I'll build a structure in the middle that comes upwards. The question is, do I want to go above the height limit bit there? Well, not really the height limit. Oh, you want Barney? Alright, let me pull Barney there. Alright, hopefully you can hear Barney alright. He is kind of running out of batteries. So if you want to, you know what, I'll put batteries on my phone if you want to save Barney's life. You want to save Barney's life, don't you? Alright, let me see. There's a cow there. I might take that cow later on. Wee! Oh! Yo, how's it going, Snake? You know what? I should really get a snake and call it Solid Snake. There we go. Let me put that away. There we go. Alright. So, let us go and head on this direction. And we'll head on back over to the barn. What time are we at anyway? We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes. You know, it's going to be quite a long episode today, that's what I'll say. You know what? I'll call it a super episode like we used to. It's been ages since we had a super episode. When was the last time we had a super episode? Well, it's been quite some time, I feel. I'm running out of food. I should really, you know, get a better food source, you know, very soon. We do actually need to get into the cooking mod soon as well. So we'll try and get into that. That's another goal of why we need the barn set up, so that I can gather up the supplies for the food. How much damage did that do? Does that do more than 1 damage, or... I should really get mending on my bow. You know, it's such a great bow, but I really need to get a mending on it. I could just create a new bow. That is an option. That is an option. I really do like how lit up this area is. If you do not know, but you know, this area used to be a tree chopping area. You can actually see a lot of the tree chopping, you know, stuff, you know, behind here. You may not see it like fully, but if you see like a little bit of, you know, I think there was a tree here. There used to be some trees over there that I chopped down ages ago. There's a tiger there. I'm not going up against a tiger. You can't make me fight a tiger. I really do like how this is looking so far. Also, I realize I'm going to have to get, you know, gates for the downstairs now. I forgot about the downstairs. I'll just use up the last of my spruce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I accidentally made a mistake there as well, because I think I still needed it for the last little bits of the build so that I could do what I was doing over here and over there. Sometimes you just, forget. And it's like, the most painful, forgetting that you're going to have to pay for later. Oh. Oh yeah, I do want to say something. Hopefully, like, the head movement is, okay. Because it's not really that, good of a head, well, not a headset, webcam. It does the job, that's what I will say, it does the job. But let me know how it, moves around for you. Hopefully it, looks alright. There we go. Sometimes I don't even realize that I'm moving my head, and then I'm moving my head. You ever do that, You never realize how much you move your head, but then I'm looking down and I'm like looking at past self of me just moving my head constantly. I think one of my favorite things about this model so far is that I can do this. I can just sway back and forth. I've been quite enjoying the swaying. It should be... Well, I have an itch in my eye there. Oh, it's lightning strike. We should really sleep then. Is it raining outside? Should be raining, yeah. Alright, let's sleep. There we go. Oh yeah, I should really shear these, I said I would shear them later on, and now it's time for later on. I'm gonna have so much green wool by the end of this, we're gonna have to do like another stream after this. And it'll just be me placing down all of the all of the, what do you call it? Green wool carpets everywhere. The reason why we need so much green wool and carpets and such is that we need it for our glowstone, because I'm going on a journey to replace all of the torches in my world with glowstone, but I need a way to hide those glowstones. So basically I want to take up like an oath. I'm going to, go on a journey to primarily just take out as many of the lights in my world and replace them with glowstone. Alright, Tanko, I gotta run, but have fun. You know what, no worries, no worries. Just stay hydrated, that's all I ask from you. And stay safe, okay? Let's see. There'll have to be a full block there, right? You know what? I need to get on the other side of this fence here a sec. Okay, so it goes round. And where that's placed, alright. Sorry, I just had to double check that, area there, because I was just so confused on how it's built. I built it, but then, I get confused with my own builds. Alright. So, I know that this will all be... Yeah, that's all... Let me break that. You know what? I'm getting very confused on how this is actually built. No, that stays. That stays. But where that goes is right there. I do probably have some spruce on me. I do. So I can use this just to help my brain a bit. There we go. That'll help my brain get across, you know, what's going on here. Alright. So what we're looking for is... that? And it goes up, and then it goes up again. Yeah, that is correct. It's just very odd. When it comes to stuff like this, you know, it's always, you know, an odd time trying to figure out how it works. I may build it, but, you know, maybe, you know, my brain can't wrap my head around what I built. There we go. There we go. Not too bad that. And now we need to work on this bit. Yeah, it is, you know, okay. I was so confused there for a sec, trying to figure out, like, how that was actually working, before I realized that it was actually not supposed to be... well, that's supposed to be above, so that'd be where it disconnects. And I was so confused, like, is that 2 blocks, or is that 1 block? Before I realized, it, you know, it was just playing tricks on me, I tell you. It was playing tricks on me. Because that's where it's supposed to go. And spruce is supposed to come around that way as well. And... oops, I've fallen down a hole. You can tell that I'm not very aware of my surroundings sometimes when I'm doing, like, you know, focusing on a build. It's fine when I get so many creepers blowing me up. Alright, so let us go and grab the rest of that, turn it into that, and then walk over here, turn it into slabs, and then that should be well over the amount of that I actually needed to finish this on. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I guess I did not do what I had over there. Just folded it inwards. There we go. And yeah, that's not looking too bad altogether. That is not looking too bad altogether. I feel like that is actually done there. What time are we at now? We're 1 hour and 4 minutes. You know what, we should really end off because, well, we're going to have to go and play some Dark Souls. And, that's going to be a painful time, I tell you. It's going to be a painful time. But I will shear my sheep before we end off for today. There we go. Shear, shear, shear. I just finished shearing you, and you just had to eat. There we go. I'm not shearing you again, alright? But I do feel like that's quite nice. I will probably refurnish the stairs, and then I do need to fix, the massive, inconvenience indoor swimming pool here to, sort out that issue. So, that will be where we end off for today. So, hopefully you should enjoy this. Have a nice day, safe, visible. Thanks so much, just, because the documents very, very important. Everybody see things sometimes, I see, bye-bye.